So when it came time, of course, to write the second album, I went into rehearsal one day and I turned all the tone off on my treble pickup and just played the first thing that came to my mind, and it was Metal on Metal. I just did this. Wow, wow. I go, oh, fuck, that sounds fucking, it sounds like a buzzsaw, man. Listen to that. That's such a buzzsaw sounding. Going, yeah, man, that's, and I go, yeah, it's Metal on Metal. And then all of a sudden it's like Metal on Metal. Wait a minute. And that's how it got its name. It's because it sounded like going metal on metal. That's how it sounded. So it just became that. And I think the lyrics were written in about 10 minutes, and we all stood around saying, it was Rob that said, okay, metal on metal, da 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 da, metal on metal, da 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 da, and that's how it works. I'm going, yeah, fucking cool, right? Great idea. What a great way to go about the vocals. So of course, metal on metal, okay, it's what I crave. You know what I mean? And away you go. And we had, all of us contributing things to say. Of course, we had way more than we needed. So it was just cherry picking. Which ones are we going to use?
So the band's second album came out a year later, 1982, and this is a landmark album in metal. This came out 1 to 3 years before the debut albums from the big four, Metallica, Anthrax, Slayer, and Megadeth. So they were highly influenced by Metal on Metal.
Well, I think it's like the guy Johnny Z said. It was like a blueprint. It was a blueprint for everybody to use. The Metal on Metal album was us realizing what our identity was and what it should be in an up-to-date fashion in comparison to the first album. But by this point, of course, we'd already opened for Motorhead. We were much more in tune with what metal and plus the fact the songs we're writing weren't written in the 70s. They're actually legitimately being written in the 80s now. And that's what the big difference was. And that's why the first and second album sound not really alike, because one has come to realize what we need to be and what we were, or where we needed to go. And of course, by the time the third album we went too far. And what I mean by that is we lost the catchiness to a great degree that the Metal on Metal album had. And that it changed the trajectory of everything, because of course the people in and around us lost faith. I mean, we'll go on to talk about what happened, but the Metal on Metal era was phenomenal.
We have a bunch of fan questions sent in, and I have the first one here. So this was sent in from Chaos Solos on Instagram, and his question is, how did you get your tone for the amazing lead at the start of Stop Me? That tone is killer.
I think that's a Flying V. That's a Gibson Flying V, and I believe I was using the neck pickup at the beginning of that solo, and that's through my Fender Twins. That at that particular time, I was using what is called Ice Cube. An Ice Cube is something that plugged into the in and out of the reverb section of the amplifier in the back. It was actually a pre-made plastic square little thing with two male phono plugs sticking out, which plugged into where the two male phono plugs go into the in and out of the reverb. So you'd plug this thing into the back of the amp and turn the reverb to 10, and your guitar is all it's all grinding. So that's how I got that. That's how the early tones were done. But it was later on, after Chris Tangarides suggested I go find a a proper distortion pedal, as he would say. He'd say, you probably like that a lot more. And in eventuality, he was right. So that's what I've been using for 40 years now. So
He knew what he was talking about. We have another
yeah.
fan question. This is from Bob Paulin. His question, well, there's a statement and a question. He says, the Welland House Hotel strip club DJ used to play March of the Crabs every night, and the girls hated it. But we agreed it was the best metal instrumental ever. Will you ever do a YouTube tutorial for us guitar players who follow you?
Hmm. I don't know.
Just
I don't
something
know.
to keep in mind that the fans are requesting.
Yeah, I think so. I think somebody's going to have to ask me to do it because I'm not going to sit down and just decide I'm going to do a tutorial on how to play March of the Crabs. Nah, I don't know if I can be bothered. But I tell you this, I'm on Cameo, and what happens is if people request me to say hello or to wish somebody birthday or an anniversary or whatever, I play March of the Crabs from top to bottom. That's part of that's how I do it. That's how I do all the cameos.
That would be worth it for sure. To wrap up talking about the Metal on Metal album, there's some critical acclaim that I want to share. So the album was featured in Rock Hard Magazine's book, The 500 Greatest Rock and Metal Albums of All Time, and it was on Guitar World's list of the 25 greatest rock guitar albums of 1982. What does it mean to you when you see that incredible acclaim for your music?
To be really honest with you, it's very far. That stuff's very far and in between. You're certainly picking some choice things to say that I'm included in, but in 99.9% of the time, we are not included. We've had very, very limited access to the USA over the years. It's not easy to find Anvil music in America, and never has been, and to the point where our first three albums are still not available domestically in the USA.
You're saying for them to go purchase in a store?
Yeah, you can't find it.
Oh,
Not
man.
you'd have to order it from Unidisc up here in Canada. So get ready to pay some tariffs.
Later on, some of the songs from Metal on Metal were featured in The Simpsons, in the video game Brutal Legend that had Jack Black starring in it, and also in the movie It from Stephen King. What was the experience like seeing your music in those different pop culture mediums?
Oh, that's can't be better. Come on, we were in the Green Hornet. And we were actually supposed to be playing Metal on Metal in the Green Hornet, but they edited it. They had almost a 3-hour movie, and Michel Gondry he shortened the movie by about an hour and a half. So part of it was a performance by Anvil in where the club burnt down. If anybody remembers the movie, the club burnt down. They show Anvil playing, but it's on a monitor screen in the guy's office. Anyway, the music wasn't there, but we were.
You made an appearance.
I made an appearance. Yeah, that stuff's awesome. We did Slip Kid. We did the song Slip Kid, which is a song by The Who, and Frankie Perez, who sang for Slash, was the singer. So we were the band, and he sang Slip Kid. And there's a version that was used on Sons of Anarchy. And in fact, we were in episode 2, season 2. We were gun runners.